so be mentally prepared for mentions of self-exit, self-harm, abuse, all of those terrible things. Yeah, just be prepared. If you can't handle it, that's okay. Catch me on my next stream. I'll be doing some cozy games next time. It's fine. I appreciate you anyways. Self-love, the last part. Oh my gosh, we're so close to the end. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Wait, so we don't get to read the letter? I thought we'd get to read the letter. That's a little disappointing. What's the last poem then? Whose poem is the last poem? Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because this staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. What are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. I totally feel like Natsuki was also avoiding people to avoid Yuri, or maybe that's just a me thought. I think they both went for the most secluded place in school. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. I mean, I guess there is a vending machine right there, but I choose to believe that Natsuki is avoiding people. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seemed to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea, but instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. This seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. She really did. She really said all the wrong things she could have. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down next to Yuri. Well, I can leave you if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. Yeah, it'd kind of be hard to keep reading in this situation. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't, for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to eventually... There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. Aww. They're taking their time, getting to know each other. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Ah, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't. But there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch, the club meeting that followed Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other. Again, although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here. Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all just assume I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want it to come up again now, after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. They count. You're all my friends here, so online friends totally count. And Sayuri, but that's different, because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into, at least, just look like books. So you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Oh, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about these days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote? Thank God I used a pseudonym. Oh God, she actually put them out in the world. What were they about? Which manga do we think Natsuki would have written fanfics about? But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me. Especially who someone that doesn't even exist yet. Alright here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcibly slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow. I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. Ladies, you don't have to injure yourself. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, as though it was a really funny joke. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all of this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. Aw, she was having fun talking with her. They were having a good conversation. The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. Aww, she wanted to keep talking too! You're back! Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. Oh, that's so sweet. She got her favorite drink. And she remembered that it was her favorite drink from last time. That's some good initiative, Yuri. You're doing so good, my girl. What? Like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I mean to say is thank you. She is so bad at accepting kindness. And that it's a really nice gesture. Look, she can't even look Yuri in the eyes while saying thank you. She's so bad at it. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot, too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Then bring cupcakes. Bring cupcakes. Cupcakes are the best. I should make cupcakes. I made a bunch for my coworkers before. I should do that again. Thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no. Not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. They're just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. Yeah, I think she probably feels serious from time to time because from what we've learned about her family situation and her home life, it's not the best. And sometimes you need to just have a serious moment for yourself and reflect, right? Yeah, I guess she does. She just has online friends and the club. So her only IRL friends are the club. She must have been so lonely in middle school. I also don't have any IRL friends where I'm living right now. All of my friends live in different states because I moved. I still see them online a bunch and we'll do gaming together or we'll watch TV shows together, but it's a little lonely. I should probably make friends in person, but making friends is hard. I'll get around to it. I'll get around to putting in the effort eventually, right? For now, I'm content being a hermit. So when I'm, feeling serious, their attitudes just really get on my nerves. Yes, I read that already. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. Yeah, they're just online friends for me too right now. I used to have a bunch of friends in person when I was in high school and stuff, but then I made the decision to move. And now it's it's hard to make friends when you're not in school, is what I realize. It takes a lot more effort to get yourself out there. Yeah, but she just has a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. I have a problem. I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. But yeah, I know. Monika and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry. None of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. Yeah, I had that happen a lot to me when I was younger, where my friends would move away. Cause like one of the schools I went to, it was in like a military neighborhood, and I was one of the only kids that wasn't like a military kid. So I stayed, but everybody like moved away after like a year or two. So that was kind of sad. I kind of got used to it, which is also kind of sad in itself. I'm still really close with a lot of my old friends, though, so that's nice. I've gotten good at maintaining long-distance friendships, and, you know, I go visit them sometimes, and they come visit me here, so that has made me super happy that they're also, like, keeping up and trying to visit as much as possible. They all make a lot more money than I do, though, so it's easier for them. That's what I get for going into creative things instead of science. Yeah, Discord is so great for making friends. Yeah, you'll connect with somebody eventually. I like joined a VTuber group recently on Discord, and I feel like I'm making lots of great friends through that, so that's been super cool. We've been doing a bunch of stuff together, and I think we're gonna collab soon. I don't know whose account we'll collab on first, though. I'm waiting for them to do their debuts. I'll definitely share once they do. Some of them have really, really cool models coming out. I'm so jealous. I can't wait for my new model to be done. It's officially in progress, by the way. I'm getting a 2D model. Alright, I should keep playing this game before my voice gives out, because my throat is already starting to hurt a little bit. I keep drinking water. Water is good. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. I guess that's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No. That's not weird. I just probably just misunderstood, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends, and they really like my baking, and it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are those all things that are important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori really likes your baking, and she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. Yeah, Yuri was getting ahead of herself. She was just trying to say whatever she thought Natsuki would have wanted to hear, right? Like, she was upset with her friends, so Yuri absentmindedly badmouths her friends, forgetting that they're her friends. It's fine, as long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. Sorry, Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and, like, measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. That is kind of a sweet sentiment. Infinitely. The thought process was not as great. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts, like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's why Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're like, "Aw, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. Aww, they're finally getting along. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I just want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life. Ow, that was a loud siren. Looks like it's gonna rain today, so hopefully that'll help with the fires too. Where was I? I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. I feel like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them. It's in ways that I've never felt with real people. So, in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people? Like, all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do. I just disengage. Oh, that doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. You ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. I know. All of this is so relatable. Yuri is such a relatable girl. That's why she's our girl, though, right? Yeah. Yeah. Fiction is supposed to induce, feels more real. Yeah, it's so easy to get like dragged into them. I know if I start reading something at night, I'm gonna be like up until like 4 a.m. reading it. I'm not gonna be able to put it down because I'm gonna be dragged in it. Gonna drag into it so bad. I gotta stop starting new like manga series and new books like right before I go to sleep. It's so bad for my sleep schedule. Really? Mm-hmm. A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters, that silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Oh, that's the end of it. The end of that part. We have one more part left. The last part of self-love. Oh my gosh. It's coming to a close. Hey! Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. Did she bring cupcakes? I want to see them! Give me a CG with the cupcakes in it, please. I'm begging. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these that I know what to do with, so I figured share with them too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. Show me the cupcakes, please. This is the last chance for me to be able to see the beautiful cupcakes that Natsuki makes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped in a floral pattern, and topped with some kind of glittery powder. These sound so pretty! How pretty! I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it. I just made them. Ah, I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so... That sounds so good, though. Yeah, I should try to make green tea cupcakes. I do have, like, a bunch of matcha, so... Should that be my next cooking project? Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I know that you like them, from past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It just kind of always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like baking is like an art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued. Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today. There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. And that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not gonna stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes, anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles in Yuri's clutches as Yuri clutches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. Yuri's getting sad that she isn't gonna have her one-on-one time with Natsuki. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. No, it's not a bother. She's been enjoying this so much. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. They both seem like they're gonna miss this. Just, can one of you please be honest? I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. She shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Her voice whines as she protests. I know. I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No. They were for making you happy. You. Make me happy. That's so sweet. Their sweetness. It's so... Ah! You're worth more than the cupcakes to some people. Yes, it's so wholesome. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Oh no! No! Yuri! Why is she crying? What? Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki? I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't? Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a slight thing about myself that somebody would like. I don't know what it is about Natsuki's crying, but I find it so much more heartbreaking than any of the others. I think it's because, like, she looks like she's trying to stop herself from crying while just, like, crying so hard. It's like a whole nother level of heartbreak. Like, she feels like she can't let herself cry. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. No, you're wonderful. And I hate myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. Oh, I almost forgot about the letter. I've just been enjoying their little friendship growing. I forgot that Yuri had actually written a letter to her. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. Now, I think a lot of those negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. And so I understand that through my own experience, and that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. You're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh, and you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. Just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Sounds like you made a friend you want to hang out with. Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me? I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical, Natsuki says, but with a little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what makes me feel so confused, because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. Dude, she needs to drop these friends. I mean, it might be unpopular opinion, but she needs to drop these friends. Sometimes history doesn't mean nothing, and if people are treating you bad, they're not respecting your boundaries, just drop them. State clearly what your boundaries are. If they don't respect them, you drop them. It's the easiest way not to deal with this kind of drama. And I learned that the hard way. Yes, Yuri's assessment is definitely right. They're terrible, and you know what? I will say in their defense, knowing Natsuki's personality, and maybe she didn't clearly set her boundaries in the first place. But if she did, and they're still treating her this way, that's even worse. Oh, she needs to talk with her friends. She needs to have a long conversation with them about respect and boundaries, because they don't got none of them. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are? It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know it's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. So she knows. She knows she needs to end it to make herself happy. Oh, she's just not there yet. It is a hard step to make. I broke off some friendships that I had had for like several years at that point, but it was so much better for my mental health in the end. It was so worth it. And you know what? I don't regret it for a second. I definitely miss the good times, and I think I'll always miss those good times, but the bad times were too frequent. So, just cut them loose. Cut them loose. There's probably better friends for them anyways out there, and way better friends that Natsuki has already found in the literature club. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Ugh. Looks like I got a spam message. I gotta figure out how to delete and block these. Oh, I was clicking dialogue, wasn't I? That is one of my missions coming up, to figure out how to delete spam and block it, because I've gotten it before. I haven't gotten it in a while, though, in my streams. But, it's definitely getting annoying. Let's see, can I do it from here? Let's see. Cheap viewers, yeah. We are going to ban. There we go. There we go, I figured it out. So that's how I do it. Ugh. Yeah, it's so annoying when I get those. I do have it written in my rules now that I do not want spam of any kind. Ugh. It's so annoying. I definitely got a lot more when I first started streaming, and like, it's so obvious that those bots go over after people who have like just started streaming too. It's so annoying. Okay, back to our lovely ladies here. Like, so much of you has... Oh wait, that's right, I skipped something, didn't I? It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gotten into it, so much that it feels like that's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know, a lot of things. Like being alone, not having anyone to talk to or hang out with, not being able to replace what I have with them. I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Yeah, in her situation, I'd be most scared about, like, retaliation and bullying, because, high school can be a scary place. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki, what? If anyone thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. Yes, you will! That's our girl! Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me! Yes, you, Yuri, yes. You be our protective girl. sorry, I liked that. That's all. That has to be her best line, I think. It was so good. Her best line comes right towards the end, too. Oh. Well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. The conversation lapses. Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. You're here first today. And you brought reading material. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga, while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has come to an end. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's nothing left. Oh wow, that isn't talking to me finishing the game at all. We're like on the last parts. Yeah, they're calling us out. They're calling us out so hard right